And welcome back. We're picking up basically where we left off in Factorio. Basically, I let the bots try to catch up over the break. They kind of did. They've still got thousands of jobs to do that they haven't done yet, but they're working on it. And it is mostly... Well... Yeah, there's something like 4,000 jobs queued up they're not able to do. That is mostly due to a shortage of bots. Some of it is... in all the furnaces I set up, I've got them default set up to take 2 efficiency modules, and there's no way we make the furnaces faster than we make the efficiency modules. So, as a side effect, the furnaces are in, but the efficiency modules are not. Oh, that's an entire road that doesn't have power. Yeah, should fix that. Not seeing any more obvious flashing besides that row. I think it was just that row that's going to be a problem, or was a problem. And obviously we need this to push farther west, but that also requires the bots to set more up. Okay, so while we're waiting on more furnace stacks, we can increase the requirements for furnace stacks by building some green circuit makers. From a math standpoint, we need... So we need 2.5 productivity modules, so times 5 is 12.5. So it's basically a full belt of green. 12.5 divided by 2 divided by 1.25, so it's 5 assembly machines. I might round it up to 6 because it'll also be symmetric if you do 6. Of electronic circuits, okay. Which is what one of those are, so we need another one of those. And I can build these a little bit closer to where we're gonna use it. Might actually build it like there. Yeah, let's build it there. There will work. I'll have to redo a little bit of the belting to make it a little bit more sense, but... Okay, and then you can cross there and there. And you feed in there. Okay, extend that net a bit. And yeah, it keeps going and going and going. And this comes along here. And I just put the bot components in that should build eventually. Okay. And obviously that's going to want to run over here, and we're going to need to continue to push everything left, left, more left. Okay, so these can actually get... Well, there's no trees in the way. We can hook those ones up, so we're not trying to figure out what those are later on. And waiting for the bots to go. Okay. Okay. Why? Oh, I know why the bit in here is complaining, because we don't have any powering connections. So let's throw in some power interconnections, like so. Add in a little bit of redundancy by tossing it in both ends of the thing. Same on this one, both ends of the thing, so it's powered in. That one technically connects when it's ready. Okay, that'll fix that bit. Flashing-wise, that's just waiting on things to build. Okay. Any obvious problems going on at the main base that's making the bots run slower? Maybe. Where is my... No, I put it on this side, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so we don't have a shortage of roboports. We just have a shortage of bots. And, well, bots that do tasks. So to speed this up, I'm going to personally, very carefully, because there's lots of trains that can squish me, run across my train yard and throw... Granted, I don't think 50 bots is going to make a big difference. We're going to throw 50 more bots in the network. Because, yeah, we're mainly waiting on the bots to do things. With the exception of the efficiency modules and the batteries. Most of the things that the bots are waiting for are things the bots can do, or that the bots, if they were available, they could do. Every once in a while, they're being sent on a task, recalculating to a different task, because they're getting sent to go, hey, bring the efficiency module to a place, and it's like, oh, but the efficiency module isn't built. Like, that's a thing that's happening quite a bit. These are my construction bots. Yes. So we'll take the 100 construction bots, throw 100 more in the network. And they just set off, because we have tasks for 100 something bots to do. Yeah, and that's building, but the power poles are up, which is good to see. One thing I am eventually going to dread is I'm using a lot of small power poles that do use wood, but we don't, well, I was about to say we don't have infinite wood. We have a lot of wood, because we're just, there's forest occasionally in the way, and it's just like, yep, take the forest down. Just pulling a saw on every once in a while and just say, the roots of Fangorn might go deep, but Fangorn needs to get pulled in. And I'm building closer and closer and closer to hostiles on the west at this point. Waiting for that to build. Yeah, I should probably stand the defenses. And okay, that side just requires us to extend it that way, which we should do at some point, is extend it farther to the right. The second copper expand. This is 5 million copper in the second copper expand. That's good to know. Less than 1 million in the original iron expand. Okay, good to see that the nuclear power is running as fast as we need it to run. At some point I might need to redesign it just to do more throughput, but more power production throughput, but at the moment it's working. One small advantage of doing this assembly is we are recovering efficiency modules that we can shove into things. I think the newer fields I stopped putting efficiency module. Well, I say newer fields. The coal one over here, I don't think it has any efficiency module in it. Yeah, no efficiency modules in that one. And I didn't put any in this field either. Those are the pumps that we don't want installed anyway. Surprised they haven't gone around to putting that one transport belt in, but they will eventually. Hopefully. They ever catch up. They're 2 point... Again, we still have them thousands of orders behind schedule, because I've just got so many things I'm building, and I can... When I hop to it, I can build fast and the bots can assemble. That's basically what's going on. And we aren't really expanding the bot production quickly fast. Though at this point, other than the smelters, we are ready to move on to yellow. Granted, yellow has horrifying things like processing units and flying robot flames and low-density structures to put in the system. Actually, before I do that, do I want to try to spool up everything else? Because that would get mining productivity up through the roof. That would get steel productivity up through the roof while we're trying to get the rest set up. Okay, so tossed a few more solar panels out. That'll keep power staying positive, which is what we want during the day. And yeah, as power requirements go up and up and up, mainly due to the bots. Well, there's also some drain on the assembly machine, so as I get more and more of them assembled, even if they aren't doing anything, they're consuming power. We need more power requirements, or more power supply. As it gets more and more, it's daytime, we have power. It's nighttime, we have no power. It's because of just the more power we have. We do at least appear at the moment to have sufficient accumulators. That we're not really dipping into the accumulator supply during the night, which is good to see. Waiting for that expansion. Granted, I should already be thinking about the fact that the expansion is insufficient in and of itself, and the expansion needs an expansion. Okay. That's going well. That's going to need an expand, so we're going to plop you, place you, and you. And it doesn't quite reach along there. That's one reason to put redundancy in where you can. Ahead of doing the big extend of big power pole sets like that. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 furnace stacks over here. Oof. Yeah, so we need this to extend so we can do those extensions. I should probably be thinking about where, well, maybe not where, but how I'm going to put in more stations. Because we worked out this is enough for... It's not pulling evenly. It's a little bit of a problem. That's why this isn't tripping yet, but... outgoing. But this is enough to provide, like, supply to... so... These are right now in bulk. Ignore the bulk. Let's say these are fast, because we want the unload from the train to be bulk. You want the unload onto the belt to be one tier down. Say these are fast. So that's 15. So that's a whole yellow belt. That's another 15, so that's a red belt. Right, so... And we got it on both sides. Oh, it might only... Are we going to be making math right? Let me pull up the wiki. I have it on the wiki. I had the wiki page up for that. Oh, the bulk is 5. Okay. So yeah. That's basically... This is enough to fill up a whole red belt. So it's basically 2.5, so that's 7.5, so that's the whole side of a yellow, the whole side of the red. So this is basically enough to run four furnace stacks off of if you discount the travel time of the train, right, for each of these stations. We have so many furnace stacks. And we're going to get more. We need more. So we're going to need a bigger station. Or multiple stations. or both. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna build that. And that's maybe something we can do instead of doing yellow for a bit, is we can work on station design. Because unlike building yellow, which is just waiting for bots to build more smelter stacks, we do need at some point need to plumb in input-output to furnace stacks. Okay, so if we assume that it comes off here, what is... that's my turning radius. Okay. Nope, grabbed the wrong spot. Okay, why was the previous one allowed to do that turn, but you aren't? Do a tighter turn. Oh, because it's got to do with how it's splitting... okay. So which way is which on the line? That's rightward. So actually that's fine. That's one type. That's a out or out. Now I need the other type. Okay, we're not currently using that belt, so I can move that belt if we need to. Okay, so that is the minimum sort of turning radius I need to do into a station. Now, if I assume for unloading I want something that looks like so... how hard does that fit on the end of that? Do an overwrite and say, could that go there? That would be presumably able to connect. And then we have to swing back out. Could we do that before that oil line? Nope. Okay. Problems with the belts being weird. Okay. Okay, now this would be inbound from the way. or from the tracks, so that's the minimum curvature there. Alright, that's not what it's going to do, but it's a good start to be thinking about. Okay, why can it do it one way but not the other? Confuses me. Okay, so in theory that's a working interchange. The left side, if I wanted to place and move it a couple times, could be done a little tighter. And then also that can, in theory, be run more times. Taking advantage of space. Verticality space. Well, up and down space, right? Okay. We don't want that bit and that bit. We'll create that blueprint. Okay, because of the drone hub, it won't fit there. Would fit there. And that's about all the places we're going to be able to get it fit roughly there. And then presumably, if I've done this right, I'll be able to grab off the end here, have it just come on in. And grab off the end of the straight here. And it's trying to go around the power pole there. I kind of actually just wanted to go through the power pole, to be fair. Of course, it means I've taken it too far. Okay, and then obviously the power pole goes back in both sides of the tracks like so. So that would be 2 more stations. That's a start. That is a legitimate start. Could probably run them a little bit closer together. We're running them farther apart because they're having to straddle the Roboport a bit there. Don't know how far over I want that side. Okay. as a test bed for how close we can get these together, that will work. Okay, and that would work. So that would basically be a perfect sort of minimum size loop onto and off of the main line, which will probably get used a lot if I'm just trying to take sidings off like this. This is maybe not the perfect spot for it because of the petrol line coming up here. Where's the petrol line going? Nowhere. This is the old petrol line I don't need. Okay, so that's actually fine. I can come out. The water here would be the issue. Actually, no, the water doesn't go anywhere. This was gas and water and stuff that came up for the quality location that I had earlier that I technically don't need anymore. Because it will be replaced by that one. Okay, so in theory, that we could probably shove a couple more sightings on that. That would work pretty well. Yeah, we need to. We could do more in this camp. Okay, so looking at the time, this is probably where I should put the part as far as YouTube is concerned. So that I can actually make decent-sized videos and not ramble on forever and ever and ever. I believe I've recorded 4 parts tonight. I'm still thinking that tomorrow... so if you're watching on Twitch, I'm still thinking that tomorrow will probably end up still being a Factorio day. It'll just be a really short day. That's because I got stuff going around IRL. That means I'm going to be starting the recording late. And obviously that, you know, has consequences as far as getting things done. So instead of doing a different game that won't get a full stream, I'll probably do a short Factorio stream to get us a little ahead on Factorio in case I end up doing another 3-part stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will probably be another part up tomorrow because I'm going to try to literally record another part tomorrow. And this is after recording 4 parts tonight. I don't know how many parts I'm going to do tomorrow, so you can check in the next video. I'll probably tell you that early next video. And that's regardless whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Tomorrow's going to be Factorio Day. And we are still expanding the space, so we've got a whole bunch of stuff to do over here. In fact, As much as I've like, oh yes, we're finally down below 2,000 jobs, I'm about to add probably like 1,000 jobs here, saying clear out all these trees that are in the way. Oh, and below the thing because we need space for the rail line to come through. It's calculating. And might still be lower on jobs. We might actually have some spare bot capacity. I'm seeing the little waves of bots coming to do the tree hauling. So we might have, as I was designing these rail stations, which was a little bit time-intensive, clicky and stuff, but not necessarily very bot-intensive. Rail hubs, to be fair, are like 4 hexes. Or, no, 4 squares, so they're as big as this might seem, there's not that many pieces in them. So the bots can build them pretty quickly. So I think the bots have actually sort of, well, say sort of caught up. They, no way have they really caught up, right? There's a big delay in all those efficiency modules that they're short on. But they've caught up to the point where it's not, well, I did put 1,000-something jobs. There's 1,000-something jobs the bots got to do. But the bots at this point are getting more delayed by input shortages than necessarily my building habits. So it might be point to actually start. Wow, it's a weird place to put the power pole. Power pole would make much more sense there. Other than basic scanning across the base to figure out where things like minor mistakes like that are that I can go and fix. I think we're either ready to move on to the next type of science or ready to start getting some of these furnaces fed so we can get science actually flowing from the 5 types of science we've got set up. At some point we'll want to go and set up the 6th one, which was the whole point of building this, was to build the 6th one. Yeah, we haven't even touched the thing we started this for. But then once I had that 6th one, it's like, well, then I'm going to want like a certain speed of that 6th one, because the whole point of getting the 6th one is to do physical projectile damage, which uses utility science, and weapon shooting speed, which uses utility science. You'll notice the one we just built doesn't actually go in this one. Yeah. Could have probably done that better. But I suspect at some point we will need both utility and production science for the same thing. But yeah, we'll probably go ahead and get them spun up, get them fed in the next part, maybe. Obviously, that will require acquiring more mines and actually setting up some labs. We've got no labs set up at the moment. But this is roughly where I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. This part's already over 40 minutes long because I'm yammering too much. And sort of future thinking stuff. So the next part will probably be actually building some of the science labs. I might have underestimated, because I haven't built any science labs yet. We're going to have to build some science labs and set up how we're going to feed science into them. At least like the first row of the labs. Then I'll probably run up some laser defenses along the east here. And then we're going to start feeding trains in to start spinning it up and seeing how well that works. And as we have to feed trains in, we're going to have to find more places to get stuff for trains. I did prep the things I need to do to develop the numbers I need to figure out how many miners we need per smelter stack and stuff like that, but we're not doing that yet. That'll have to be done at some point, so we have to figure out how much each mine location can actually support train-wise. So we can figure out how many stacks we can supply off of each mine and how many mines we need and so on. But that's something for the future. Yeah. Zoomed out like this, you can sort of see parallels between Factorio and chip design, where you've got vaguely numerical units and how it's all wired up and plumbed in work together. And yeah, in theory, this is, other than obviously the last couple furnace stacks that we need to feed in, that is actually enough to get the first 5 sciences. If we get the first 5 sciences running, main thing that's initially going to do is actually just provide more productivity. We do have productivity bonus from technology, so just more productivity bonus from technology, in theory, would reduce the demands on the mines, and allow the mines to go a little bit farther. The other type I have going is steel productivity, which in theory would actually lower the amount of steel we need, steel furnaces we need. I suppose I could go through and rejig the numbers and downsize various things, but as far as furnaces go, we're not having real problems with the furnaces. We'll probably have feeding issues where the mines don't go far enough. And then that's more about trying not to have them deplete the fields too quickly, I think, rather than trying to maximize the output from a particular mine. And yeah, we've got various fields. I'm getting a little bit worried about the original power plant field, because the original power plant field is starting to run closer and closer and closer to empty. So it may become a point where we're like, why is the power so bad? And we come over to look at the power plant and like, oh, because we ran out of coal powering the power plant. There's workarounds to that, right? We've got renewable oil to some degree, so we could potentially shove solid fuel into the power plant to run it that way instead of coal. Which actually probably would be better. Once we get a little bit farther in Vulcanus, it probably makes sense to turn the coal into oil, and the oil into solid fuel, and the solid fuel into the steam if we really wanted to run steam power. But steam power is basically just providing the base load power. But yeah, so next time I think it is labs. After the labs, we're going to start to try to turn it on. Just to make sure at this point, this is starting to get very complicated, right? So make sure we got the right furnaces feeding into the right things, fueled with the right things, and to see if the whole thing can actually, you know, be powered by our solar panels. They are expanding. We're building more solar panels. In fact, actually, we've got all the solar panels down right now, so it's probably time to add more solar panels. And at least in the short run, it does mean it's more time to get rid of more trees to make way for more solar panels. So I hope if you're watching on YouTube and or Twitch that you've been enjoying this. It's gonna keep going. We've still got more base building to do, so we can get those bullets going, so we can take the worms down to Vulcanus, so we can get a new type of furnace and mine that arguably makes what we're about to do obsolete and needing to be upgraded, but at some point then we need to figure out to the tungsten carbide mining and making enough of the big mines so that we can do the mine upgrades. That's future. We're going to make a current setup obsolete before we make it, before we finish, basically, is what's going to happen. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. And before I say bye for now, I should remember to save. So, the save at the end of the 28th stream. And bye for now.